But during the event of the symposium, artists are invited to do plain art. The plain, when I say outside in open air art. Take your easel and go to certain district or district of the country, on the seaside could be, or downtown. So you have to put your easel and start painting outdoors. My name is Ali Yusuf Ahmedi, born in 11th July 1952 in Manama. And then I went to school, finished my school in 1968. After that, I started to join the work experience. I joined Gulf Air at the time. And through my life, I went through a lot of courses, studies in the field of human resources. So I am HR practitioner and specialist. 2001, decided to take the retirement. That was in January 2001. And after that, I went back to my hobby, artistic hobbies. I went through a lot of online courses, artistic online courses in terms of art, discriminating art, and even my Arabic calligraphy. I started practicing that for years. But I followed actually a lot of information in the Google and YouTube that gives you the right rules and regulation of calligraphy. So I'm actually combining between painting, fine painting, and calligraphy. I would consider my life as a kind of challenges, a lot of stumbling, success, and failure, certainly. And the good thing is that always for someone to celebrate the success and learn from the failures. I would call it the career of life in the artistic field. As far as the art is concerned, I have actually abandoned my artistic hobbies for a long time, years. It could be 25 to 30 years because of the demand of the work. And following my retirement, I found a lot of time, devoted my time to go back to my artistic field. And through that, in between actually, during my working life and experience, I have practiced some and entered into a lot of artistic contests. And I have actually designed the logo of Bahrain Islamic Bank at that time, or the old logo, which was received the #1 prize. And the other one, Bahrain News Agency. Now it's called Bahrain News Agency, but in the past it's called Gulf News Agencies. At that time, it was also declared in the paper, and I entered into that contest, and my logo was also won the #1 prize. Besides that, in 1990, I was employed with Gulf Air. I have designed the 40th anniversary of the company, and that was also received #1 prize. So in between, I've done only that as logo design, but then after that, nothing until I have actually retired. From there, I started to prepare my painting, go back to my calligraphy work as well, and started to contributing to local events, artistic events, and then into global and international one. I started my artistic hobbies, let's say, during schooling time, but at the time, of course, the resources are very limited, only within the school environment. Besides that, during the spare time or after school time, trying to copy and follow other artists, international artists, just to see how they actually practice their art. Within the club, at the time there were a lot of clubs within the district. So through the club, I started also practicing myself. You know, there are always in-house magazines produced within the clubs, besides the calligraphy. So I did a lot of activities at the time. I remember one of the maybe outstanding work at that time was the statue of Jamal Abdel Nasser, the president of Egypt. It was a good statue, and the painting of Jamal Abdel Nasser at that time. That was still during my schooling time within the club. My favorite field of art is nature, and what I mean by nature is the seascape, landscape, cityscape, and including, of course, the culture of Bahrain and Islamic culture. My inspiration of artistic life is my family and my closest friend are the booster for me. Whenever I do something, certainly I get a lot of commendation and support, which certainly boosts my morale and encourage me to go further and further. My sources of inspiration and passion is actually when sitting near the sea, just meditating in the sun, especially during sunset, and when it's getting cloudy. That's my favorite. Besides that, I get out, sit in a coffee shop, just sit on my own in the corner, and start watching the audience. Through that, I start doing my sketches, and then go and expand further in my studio. I did maybe 2 paintings for the Al-Reem Center, because I do every early morning walk exercise, and I take snapshots. So it was very quiet at the time, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I did a lot, 2 paintings for the center actually, which I have given it away to the owner of the Al-Reem Center. My most inspiration places in Bahrain are the old districts areas. I come from Al Fadil district, and certainly there are a lot of old houses, the paths, the roads, the old streets, and the old houses. So from that, I certainly try to compose ideas and execute it into my painting. Besides that, obviously the well-known point of tourism in Bahrain, Tree of Life, Al Khamis Mosque, and Arad and Bahrain castles. Long time back, it's called Al Jazair beach, and again, let me say, about 30 years ago, when there was everything simple, south of Bahrain, it's called the Ras Al Bar. That's what it's called. It's very quiet, and especially during the sunrise at dawn, because we go for camping there. And through that camping, I just sit on my own, away from my friends, and just watch the sunrise at that time. It's beautiful scenery at that time. I start with the sketches at the beginning, and through that sketch, I develop the artwork. Certainly, not exactly to the sketch or to the picture I take. I go outside that subject by creating some own imagination to include it in the painting, so just to keep away from the exact picture. The way where I was born and grown up, close to Yatim Center. I took few snapshots there, and I put it into painting and watercolor. Tree of Life, that was, I'm proud of that big painting actually, which was demonstrated in the recent Bahrain Society exhibition. With that, I have actually used my imagination by using calligraphy on the ground of the tree. So the painting has a lot of space there, just the tree, with the calligraphy of Bahrain. So that's the second one. Yes. My closest artwork to my heart is an artwork which I have produced, which is here. It's called the Gone that was presented to the Prophet Muhammad, in Arabic called Al-Burda. And it was a very famous poet who has actually written that poem praising the Prophet Muhammad. And I made it into a 3D type of, using actually a special paste soaked in a piece of cloth and left it to dry to give the impression of a gone. And applied it to the hardboard with the writing, some writing of the poem itself. And I have actually exhibited it in last year's exhibition in the Alumni Club. I prepare for painting. I start with the sketch, thinking of the composition of the artwork, the balance, the composition, the value. Once I do that, I take the small sketch of it just to see how it looks, try to crop it as well, and then I start executing it. It depends, it can take from 1 day to 3 days, depending on the size and complexity of the artwork. I like to do between medium to large artwork. So it takes more time when you go to larger artwork. Now, certainly the time vary from painting to other. As I said, when it goes to 3D painting, it takes a lot of pasting preparation, cutting of a stencil and apply the paste until it gets dry. It may involve further some carving, touching up, and then of course the underlay to do that. It could take 2 to 3 coats until it gets dry. And of course, sometimes special effects play a big role there. Sometimes you may find yourself deviating from what was planned in your mind because it goes as you practice. The ideas, it comes into your mind that push you to change and apply different techniques. Color plays a big role, an important role in the painting, especially light and shadow. It's very important. Light and shadow, of course, is known as value. So value can start from 1 or from 0 to 9. Even if you take, for instance, put it into black and white. When you take a color picture, put it into black and white. The black and white would give you the degree starting from white to light gray to gray, and so on, darken and darken. So it can go into 9 degrees roughly. Most of color tones go to 9 degrees. But these are very important to make the balance of the painting. Without the light and shadow, the painting may not have the depth. I started with the exhibition locally first. When you talk about Bahrain, Bahrain is very small, but there are a lot of great artists during years and years. Some have migrated, and some have passed away, but there are still a lot of great artists from whom we actually learn. That is in terms of the local exhibitions. The global international exhibition has wider scope, will attract a lot of audience. Certainly the scope is much bigger there. and you get to learn from well-known guru artists internationally participating in this art. The last one I attended, it was Armenia symposium. That was particularly for watercolor. There was about 6 to 7 very well-known artists in watercolor, through whom we have really gained a lot of experience. It was very interesting symposium. Supporters, as far as moral supporters, my close family members, and again close friends. These are the main supporters as far as morale is concerned, to boost my morale. Actually, it was the occasion of moving into a new house of my younger sister, and she loves art actually, and I have given her a carved artwork into a piece of wood about 1 meter size, and that was cut into a CNC machine, but then designed by me, and painting of 2 by 1.5 meter. That was actually a seascape of Bahrain. Actually, I'm planning to organize my own art exhibition, which takes a lot of effort, obviously. And in order to organize an exhibition, you need maybe for yourself to produce something between 70 to 100 paintings in order to select the most convenient one to display it. So while saying that, obviously, I'm also getting busy preparing for other art events. Now, we are planning for a symposium in April, hopefully, joint venture with the Jordanian party. That will be international one, inviting a lot of international artists to be organized in Bahrain. So we will take the lead to organize it. And I see it's a group of WhatsApp. And we will certainly provide the facilities as far as exhibiting the painting of this international artist. But during the event of the symposium, artists are invited to do plain art. The plain, when I say outside the open air art, take your easel and go to certain district or district of the country, on the seaside could be, or downtown. So you have to put your easel and start painting outdoor. Certainly my main advice for initiator or starting artist is to practice and practice and practice. Practice is the only way where people can improve, or artists can improve their skills and habit, and they can certainly learn. Obviously, they may start with a painting that may not give them satisfaction, but they should not be disappointed. That's the start for every artist, and they can keep it and compare it with a further painting, and they will see themselves how far they have improved in their skills. They should not feel ashamed or disappointed because of the first or second or third painting may not come to their satisfaction. So that's one. Secondly, they should not deviate into different paths. What I mean by that is, once they start painting, now the discriminating art is charcoal, pastel, oil painting, acrylic, and watercolor. Different medium, decoupage, a lot of things. There's no ceiling for creativity in art. So someone should find himself or herself into which area that he can really be creative, rather than pushing into different way, and without concentrating on particular medium and start improving themselves. So because the art has a lot of effort, difficulties that may be faced by the artist, but by specializing into 1 or 2 medium, that will give them a better opportunity to improve in terms of their skills. My favorite medium in painting is acrylic and watercolor. Beside that is the calligraphy. Calligraphy is a different field, obviously, but now the difficulties here in terms of the oil color is it takes long time to dry. It can take maybe a week, or it can take even a month to become fully dry because of the medium nature. Oil. Opposite of that is the acrylic. Acrylic gets dry quickly in maybe 1 or 2 hours, which is again a problem to the artist. There are some materials called retarder that could slow down the drying time of the painting, but it could solve a lot of problems. So acrylic now I can see is maybe #1 choice for most of the artists. For those who certainly would like to produce more and more quickly rather than waiting for the oil painting to dry. Watercolor to me is really something very comfortable. I feel because it's transparent medium, but it is very difficult. I started the watercolor in the beginning and I find a lot of difficulties. The problem with watercolor is once you go wrong, you cannot repair it. You have to discard the whole work and start over again. Different than the acrylic, you can actually scrub it, put layer and layer and layer without losing the painting itself. But I can find myself improved a lot in watercolor. And I did many paintings actually, which I'm proud of in terms of watercolor. One is just behind me, which is the Financial Harbor. I'm trying to combine between the present Financial Harbor and the old one that's called the port in Bahrain. In local accent we call it Furwa, where it was a lot of dhows and old ships come to bring the materials from different places. So I'm trying to combine between the old and the new Financial Harbor. This is as you can see, the painting speaks for itself. It's the 2 main towers of the Financial Harbor. Still not finished, of course. Still some touches need to be done. I decided to do it in watercolor because it gives me the gradation of the glass. The building mainly made of glasses, and the reflection of the sunset beside the blue sky. This is that tells the story of the Financial Harbor before it was developed to this present shape. It used to be just a straight jetty, and where ships come from different parts of the world at that time. They bring old food stuff and some building materials. From that same point, the old port, there should be the old carriage where they carry the stuff and come through the Bab al-Bahrain arch and start distributing all the items. My contribution would be, I would love to look forward to contribute into these, as I have mentioned a little while ago about the art symposium. Now, I would certainly love to join that and start producing my painting in terms of peace and love. As I have explained before as well, meditating into phrases of peace and love. Through that I can come up with artistic, creative picture and painting through that. And with that I can certainly focus to contribute and participate in the International Symposium of Art by using love and peace to deliver the message.